Hi, everyone. My name is Paris Goodyear Brown, and I'm coming to you from the Trauma Play Institute, attached to Nurture House in Franklin, Tennessee. And I'm here to just bring you another idea of how we can begin to titrate the approach to hard things with parents and children during this time of COVID-19. And so I've been doing this with lots of different supervisees and lots of different families, sometimes just with individual children or teens, and sometimes with a parent-child dyad, and that's been lots of fun. I'll simply ask them to find in their environment something soft, something moldable. It might be Play-Doh, it might be clay, slime, thinking putty. I had a client the other day who chose ice cream, another who chose cream cheese because that was all that she had in her environment, but something soft. You could even invite them to go outside and get some dirt and water and make some mud as the soft thing. And then to find some hard things, some little bits of hard things in their environment. And it's been really interesting because asking for that, people have given all sorts of different things. I had one mom who went and got dry pasta and then crunched it up as bits of hard things that she would be excavating. I have had other parents and kids choose coins that happen to be in their environment to put inside the Play-Doh. If you're doing it with a food, that can be fun for families, and you can put hard things like chocolate chips or raisins or something like that into cream cheese or into ice cream, and that can be the hard things within the soft. And then I simply have them hold, sometimes it's a Lego, and I had a little boy a couple weeks ago who was already playing with Legos, so he took one of his and said, "This is a hard thing." I said, "You're right, it is." And I said, "Let's just each hold," and I try to keep that stuff around me. So I grabbed a Lego myself and said, "Let's just hold this as tight as we can. Squeeze it as tight as you can in your hand and see if you can change the shape of it." And he said, "Ow, my hand kind of hurts." And we open our hands and we see that we were not able to change the shape of this Lego. This Lego is solid. It just is what it is. It is not something that we can change or something that we can control. In contrast, our Play-Doh or thinking putty or cream cheese or mud from the front yard, whatever that is something that we have some control over, right? We can make some choices within the environment. And so we, with some kids, we might just call this a hard things scavenger hunt inside the Play-Doh. And with other kids, they might prefer to consider it an excavation of hard things or an archaeological dig for hard things. So I have them embed their hard things. And it's kind of fun if you can do more than one kind of thing. So I've got one Lego I'm mushing down in there. I've got a coin that I'm mushing down in there. For one of my families, I went and got year-old jelly beans and used that to embed the hard things. And then I asked them to also find either tweezers. If all they have is their fingers, that's fine too. That's one way to do it. And then as I did it more and more with people, just to give myself some novelty, I was curious if we had any chopsticks in the house, and I found a pair that had not been used before. You can tell they have been used now. And so I started doing mine with chopsticks. But we simply take turns excavating, digging in to find a hard thing. And the hard thing for me might be, I'll find this Lego first. And then we talk about one hard thing right now, one thing that we don't have control over right now. With a couple of families recently, it has been a parent and a kind of separated set of parents who are getting back together, or a set of parents who are divorcing and the child doesn't have any control over that. Certainly some sickness in the family with COVID-19 or deaths in the family or the extended family. Those are things that people have not had control over. But within that, there are choices about things that they can control within that. So it might be the ways they take care of themselves as they face the hard thing that happened. It may be that while they don't have control over whether or not they can go to school, they have control over when they do various school assignments at home. And that might be part of what you talk about as you do the hard thing versus the thing you can control. So just a fun activity for you guys, an excavation of hard things inside the Play-Doh. I will give you one tip if you're doing this with really young kids. You want the parent to be there, and you also want to make sure that the tweezers just get used for the activity and not for anything else. You might also want to have like a play doctor's kit set of tweezers for that activity. So the excavation of hard things with very simple materials, lots of ways to be adapted. And it helps. Another way that we'll talk about it sometimes is in terms of griefs and gratitudes. And we might have the griefs embedded in here, and then parts of the moldable things be the gratitudes that have come out of this hard time too. All right, that's us coming to you from the Trauma Play Institute in Franklin, Tennessee. Hope it helps. Have a good day.